Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We are on to Surah Al-Kawthar, the smallest surah in the Quran, and we are continuing to look at Itmaam al-Harakaat and makhaarij al-huroof and how to implement those rules into our recitation of the Quran. Inshallah, we'll be doing that for the next 3 surahs as well, so that we've covered the last 10 surahs with the same rules and had plenty of practice of how to implement those rules into the recitation of the Quran. And then after that, we'll go on to, inshallah, explain the sifat or the characteristic of the letters. And then, God willing, inshallah, move on to other rules of tajweed and explain how to implement them into our recitation in order to improve. Let me recite Surah Al-Kawthar for you, and then we'll break it down into the 3 verses and look at what's required in order to improve, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ إِنَّ شَانِئَكَ هُوَ الْأَبْتَرُ. So let's look Surah Al-Kawthar and concentrate on Itmaam al-Harakaat and the makhaarij al-huroof and pick up the pointers that we need in order to improve our recitation. The isti'adha and basmala has been covered really in detail in all the previous videos, so please look and refer back to them. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Again, the C needs to be elongated. The ha, burst of air when you pronounce the ha from the middle of the throat. The upper jaw going up when you say the word of Allah, and the ma. So that's all the main things to look for really in the basmala. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Verse number 1. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. So really, again, the concentration on the mouth movements and the makhaarij al-huroof. When you have inna, the first sound that is created is the hamza from the bottom of the throat. In, and then you have a noon with a shadda on it, which means that we elongate the sound of the noon, and also we have ghunna, this sound that emanates from the nose. Inna, and then as you pronounce the noon with the fatha on it, then your upper jaw needs to move up. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Now again, in terms of the length, you need to try to pronounce the same length that I'm doing, so keep with the length that I'm doing. Or if you're reciting to a teacher of tajweed, then keep to what they're teaching you. Inna, but certainly there needs to be consistency when you have these lengths, and I'm reciting at 4 harakat. Inna so we have again this ayn with a sukoon, which means that we linger on it, and before that we have the hamza. So you pronounce the hamza from the bottom of the throat, and then you go to the ayn, and you have 2 different sounds, the hamza and then the ayn. Inna a'tayna. So going on to the ayn and then the ta. A'tayna. Again with the noon with the fatha, upper jaw going up so that you have that clear sound. Inna a'tainaka kaf. So you have the qaf at the back of the tongue, then the kaf just lower down from it. Kal, and then when you have the lam, again we just keep the sound of the lam slightly so it's audible in recitation. Kal kaw. When you look at my lips, they're pouting out kaw thar, because the waw is pronounced from the lips. Kawthar, and then back for the ra, which is the tip of the tongue touching the gums just behind the central, at the center and side. So you have the lam, al, an, al. You should be able to move towards the front of the mouth in order to pinpoint exactly where you're pronouncing the ra from. So you have al, an, moving towards the front of the mouth, and then you have al, just at the gums of the central incisors at the top is where you're touching. Al with the tip of the tongue. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Ra, come back and make sure your lips are back. Thar, fa, fa, pronounced with the central incisors touching the inside of the bottom lip, or what we call the wet part of the bottom lip. Fa, fa, not from out here. Fa, fa, has to be from the inside. Fa, salli, fa, sa, sad, and then the lam. You have a lam with a shadda, with a kasra, and then you have another lam following that. So in reality, we're reciting 3 lams altogether. Fa, salli. So go to the makhaarij of the lam, fa, sal, and then you have the kasra with the lowering of the jaw, or the bottom jaw. Fa, salli, li. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ. Again, the ba has a shadda on it. Rabbi. So you build up pressure in your lips. Rabbi. Rabbika. 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 One. The noon is followed by a ha, which is the letter of the throat, which means we have a rule of ithar, but we just keep the noon clear here. وانحر فصل لربك وانحر. Then the last verse. Inna. So the noon has a shadda, again elongate the sound. Inna sha, and the noon with the fatha is all that you required. It's different from the first verse. We have inna a'tayna, and here you have inna, na, that's all, and then followed by the sheen. Inna shani'aka, so you're going from the noon to the sheen quite quickly. Inna shani'aka, again sha, upper jaw going up. Shani'aka, hamza, aka. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. So breaking down all the sounds, you have the sha, ni, a, ka. Sha, ni, a, ka, hu. The ha from the bottom of the throat. Huwal, and then staying on the lam. Ab, abtar. Have a qalqala on the ba. Ab, and then ta, and then back for the ra. So that's the whole process of the last verse. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. And putting all that together, I'll recite Surah Al-Kawthar again, and hopefully you can pick up, or you have picked up, things that can improve your recitation. Jazakumullah khair. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. صدق الله العظيم.